Watch it peel back.
What's going on, guys? My name is xFREEEDO, also known as the self-proclaimed motherfucking king of responding to subscriber questions and commentaries. And that's what we're doing today. This quote was from a sub, one of my last few videos. Should I start YouTube? He asks me. And I plan to answer that for him and maybe give a little more YouTube advice to fellow YouTubers who are already in the game or people who are trying to get into it. My 2 cents is obviously the most valuable 2 cents you'll ever find on YouTube. But first, this wouldn't be a xFREEEDO commentary if we didn't talk about game balance for at least 5 seconds. Using Stalker in this gameplay. And that guy's using Stalker too as he glides around with his MP7. You see how that movement speed, I mean, it was just so hard for me to track that guy. I had literally a fraction of a second to kill him while he was gliding across the screen. The lag issue is obviously clear. That's a whole nother separate situation. But Stalker is arguably the best gunfight perk in the 3rd tier. So if you're not using Sitrep or Stalker, you're probably losing out. And that's a sad state of affairs. Developers need to fix that. But this game's over. And Black Ops 2, Quick Draw, and Stalker are attachments now, which I'm scared about. Hopefully they tone them down to the point where one or a few don't outclass the other attachments. But we'll see. Complain about that when... We'll burn that bridge when we come to it. I like that phrase. But should I start YouTube? If you're... I think the best way to start is to say how I got on YouTube, so you can sort of get a feel for where I sit at and what my goals are and compare them to your own. For those of you who don't know, I have a double major, that I have 2 degrees, I should say. One in broadcast electronic communication and another in writing intensive English. I'm a writer, I'm a creator, I'm a creative person, and the field of expertise, which is something you'll get to know and understand a little bit more, because people don't really learn to do a job nowadays. It's not as stringent unless you're one of the more core to the community type workforce, like if you're a plumber or electrician or fireman, policeman, doctor, things like that. But even those have, doctor is a bad example maybe, but you see what I'm saying. I'm in arts and entertainment, so there's tons of different things that I can do with that, and maybe potentially into certain fields like marketing and things like that. But anyway, I'm not trying to bore you with all that, even though I probably already have. AC 130! There you go, a little mainstream holla to get you back interested. So I'm a creative person. I was the class clown in high school, in the yearbook. I've always been a class clown, an expressive person, big into communication. Speaking comes easily for me. And that's what I like to do. And also, as you guys know who've been subbed to me, I'm a thinker and creative problem give solution type guy. That's what I wanted to do when I got on YouTube. I was always a watcher, at least casually, of YouTube for entertainment. And this community and other gaming content communities are going to grow in the future and are growing as YouTube starts to take its stranglehold higher against TV. So the market's growing. What I wanted to do is to get my foot in the door on YouTube and try to see what I can do. My goals were always to get partnered and to post good stuff. That's about it. Where I can go from there is dependent on luck and networking and taking advantage of opportunities. All these different kinds of things. So if you go into it thinking that it's going to be easy or fun, shake it, bake, Ricky Bobby, Stinger missile, Ricky Bobby, you're going into it for the wrong reasons. It's going to be hard. And something I said on Twitter the other day, if you think uploading one good video a day is upload spam and not difficult, you're off your rocker, because it is hard. Now, if I did this full time, I think 3 uploads a day, decent uploads a day, would be feasible. But I wouldn't complain about it like some people do. Then again, if it was a stressful job that was hard for me, I didn't want to do anymore, maybe I would. But that's a whole other story altogether. We always like to bring dude up when we're talking about these kind of topics. But there's a lot of people who do YouTube full-time happily. There's a lot of people who do it part-time and probably I'm going to say all their free time probably goes to YouTube. They go to work, they take care of their families. When they have their time, they do YouTube. Now, there's other things you got to consider when you get on here. If you build a channel based solely on Call of Duty, it's going to be hard to do anything else. I was on Skype talking to a friend the other day and was ranting his ear off on Skype, sending a bunch of messages, and he responded, record it, because I got into a big rant. I don't want to call people out, but there's a lot of people in this community and smaller YouTubers like me, or I should say, I don't want to call out other small YouTubers. That's not what I do. If you're a big guy, you're in the criticism, you're in the limelight, you deserve to get talked to like a man and treated like what we think these people are, which is stars. Stars get under the criticism too. You're not allowed to be big on YouTube and not go under criticism. I'm completely fine with that. But I don't want to bash someone who's around my size or, whatever. But there's a lot of people growing in this community around my size who are confused about how YouTube and entertainment's supposed to work. There's some people out there who think their subscribers have an obligation to them to watch their videos and support them and leave likes and comments. Let me be the one to tell you, because I know there's a lot of pansy ass motherfuckers out here who aren't willing to get down and dirty and tell you the real shit. As an uploader, you have all of the responsibility. None of it is on your subs. Some of it might be with the technology of YouTube and how they screw shit up, but that should be saved for YouTube. And uploading videos to your subs telling them how bad of subs they are for not following you is your fault. By the way, if any of my videos haven't hit your sub box, I've had a really good week. I've been uploading daily. But if one doesn't get as many views as the other one, I don't make my next video like, oh, YouTube is such bullshit, the sub boxes are broken. Some topics people don't want to see as bad as others. And it's my job to make each one as unique and entertaining as the last. And more importantly, my personal goal is to never stop improving. I heard that stupid fucking line at Lowe's department store commercial. Lowe's, never stop improving. But that's the way I feel about life. It's all on you. Because when you're in the biz, as some of the old time people call it, which means you're in, TV or movies or whatever, you don't get to complain that the marketing people didn't market your video good enough. You have to worry about doing your job. And you'll notice the guys who are able to retain and interest their sub base and have the most dedicated followers, their views don't get hit as hard as the guys who complain about views all the time. So get that perspective right away. There's a lot of pressure on you to do well all the time. And if you're getting into starting YouTube, success will almost never come with that attitude, in my opinion. Most of the people who do it, who are known, are already big. So I'm sure there's tons of smaller guys who want to complain too. And that's my next point. When you're in this community, you're either known or unknown. That's it. If you had a guess, right now I'm unknown. But as I work and get my way into things, I start to network with people and grow my opportunities. There's a difference between opportunities and subscribers. Making friends on YouTube is great. I have a lot of friends now from YouTube who I treat as friends and I don't just suck on their ball sack hoping that something's gonna come out of their cock which rewards me with some subscribers. That's not how you should treat people. Not in business and not in YouTube. I genuinely only collaborate with people I respect. or with people that I aim to try to respect or get to know. I'm not one of these people who's going to kiss everybody's ass. This has really turned into kind of a rant video. Oh my god. I hope you're still entertained. Are you not entertained? I hope I answered the question. I went off in a little tangent. But at the end of the day, the real answer is know what you're getting out of YouTube and what you can put into it. And if you just flat out fail, enjoy that moment. Embrace that moment when you learn something about yourself. I've tried a lot of things I failed at. I think this YouTube thing's going pretty damn well, and I'm going to continue it. I mean, I can make 100 different commentaries about things I've tried that I wasn't very good at, but it's worth trying and discovering. But be honest with yourself. Don't continue to smack your head against the wall, doing the same mistakes, and putting out the same garbage shit and not getting recognition for your same garbage shit. If you suck, stay off YouTube. Just play the game, enjoy it. Maybe you're really good at something else, but YouTube's not for everybody. I'm sorry if I scared you, but it's the truth, and that's what you come here for. Because I don't talk like all the "hey guys, what's up" type commentators. Give you real shit. That's my product. I mean, we could talk more about more specific shit. You gotta know your product and your audience too, and that's more advanced. But this is maybe episode 1 of Should I Start YouTube? Long ass rant video. Check out my other vids. I've been on a roll. A lot of good vids lately. My name is XFREEEDO. I don't do outro.
Watch it peel back.
What's going on, guys? My name is XFREEEDO, also known as the self-proclaimed motherfucking king of codcasting. That's right. That's what we're going to be doing here a lot in Black Ops 2 codcasting. But before we get to that, there's a lot of other things I want to cover. Interesting, funny, awesome, entertainment style commentaries where I rip apart the game, give you my criticism, my findings. I've got some tips, actually, believe it or not. Oh my god, I'm T-Martin. Let's look at all those good nade spots and jump spots and all sorts of spots. No, actually, I got some interesting findings with attachments. I'll be giving that video out later today. My goal for this week is to upload 2 videos a day. Before I get ahead of myself, this is my very first Black Ops 2 upload. Very excited to bring it to you. So, just within the first few minutes of Black Ops 2, I had to like pinch myself because I knew I was in that new COD moment. That moment where you're like, man, everything's new, nothing's broken, everything's great. I sort of had that feeling in Modern Warfare 3. A lot of people are just excited for every COD. I was not excited for Modern Warfare 3. I was excited for a new Call of Duty, but I was very cautious with the new things they were putting into the game, and I was skeptical. Turns out, it didn't work out well. But let's not talk about that shit anymore, because we got Black Ops motherfucking 2! Black Ops 2 is the real fucking deal. I don't care what anybody says. They start complaining about, oh, the connections. Oh my god. The connections, it's a peer-to-peer game. It's always been like that. So if you're having connection problems, that's isolated to you. You need to take care of that one way or another. Once you get on a good connection, which is completely possible, and if it's not, you need to be switching your search preferences. When you go to find game, hit X, change that shit from any or normal to best, and find your best connection. Wait fucking 5 minutes if you have to get into a lobby. Find whoever plays with you in Yugoslavia or wherever you're from. Just get your best connections and get your game on, because this game runs smooth, the hit detection plays fine, and everything's great. Now, there is some official unbalances that we're going to be addressing step by step. Now, as long as everything works out fine, Vandahar will address these with us, the community. So it's our job to, and hey, look at this. I'm trying to fucking like flank this guy. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go around the building, and I fucking die. Stupid XFREEEDO, you're on a kill streak. You could have had that dragon fire thingy, whatchamacallit. Anyway, that dragon fire thingy, whatchamacallit, it's completely terrible. It's fun to use, but it's destroyed so easily, and it's a 10 kill streak. Nuh-uh, not happening. It's going to be sort of the assault drone if it doesn't get lowered. I think that needs to be swapped down to more like a 7. I think that's more right for it. I'm totally for user-based kill streaks like the Dragonfire. I think it's awesome. but right now I don't think it's worth a 10. Also, team deathmatch kills are worth 100. That is complete bullshit, and that dude just raped me with the most overpowered submachine gun in the game. We'll talk about that in a second. Team deathmatch kills should be up to 125. That I don't know why it's not. Maybe I know Activision kind of likes their nice round numbers, like 100 kills or 100 kills, 100 points for a kill. It looks cute, but they need to up it to 125. What that's going to do is a UAV is going to be 3 kills again. Remember, it's 375 for a UAV. For those of you who aren't good at math, 125 times 3 is 375. Right now, it's 3 3/4 kills for TDM, which could mean like an assist and something or other, UAV assist, or that wouldn't work that way. Never mind. Ignore that. But right now it's broken, and TDM is not putting out the number of points that you're going to get compared to, say, like a kill confirmed or a hard hat. If you want to have the most potential fun of this game, you need to get on objective-based game modes, which is kind of sad because I'm starting to get used to TDM. I've warmed up to it, and in fact, for those of you who are playing 6v6 League, you better learn how to play TDM because it's in 6v6 League. But I haven't dug into 6v6 League, or any of the leagues actually, to give you my full analysis of how that's working out. I do know not many people are on those playlists, probably because they're doing the same thing me and everybody else is doing, getting used to the game, figuring it out, getting our feelers out there before we start going try hard with the ranked stuff. But I will say I did read that the leagues are not official. This is the preliminary league, and it's going to reset on December 1st. So you have like a week and a half or 2 weeks. I don't know math. The rest of the month, yeah, there we go. The rest of November to mess around in leagues, and all your stats are going to reset on leagues, so you don't have to worry about jumping into it early, doing bad. You know, I'll get into leagues when I have more of my teammates on and stuff. I've been playing all night. Super excited. Recording this commentary. Already did a commentary for later. Some tips and tricks stuff. You're going to want to see that when I do upload that. But this gameplay was actually my second game. I was pretty proud of it. Had a pretty decent TDM score, but I will not be playing TDM unless they put up the points. Well, I won't be playing it voluntarily. I will play it in multi-team, or maybe if I'm playing with some ground war friends, we have too many people in the lobby, that sort of thing, or in 6v6 League, but I will never pick TDM on purpose by myself because it's not rewarding you the way it should. But as far as the game goes, overall, I'm going to steal what everybody else is saying. I've heard probably like 5 people say it about the guns. The guns kill as fast as Black Ops, but have as much recoil as MW3, or mix and match, however you want to put that. But that's the way the game's playing right now, and there's some positives and negatives to that. We have gun balance issues. Namely, the higher rate of fire guns are feeling better now. I won't say the Type 25 is the end-all be-all assault rifle, because I do think the SWAT competes at long range. I think it's the best guns right now are the SWAT, the Type 25 for medium assault rifle range, and then the Scorpion little super fast PP90 wannabe gun. My name is xFREEEDO. This is my first Black Ops 2 upload. I'm so excited. Thank you. Please like, favorite, subscribe, link my Twitter, and Twitter my twat. My name is xFREEEDO. I don't do outro. What's going on, guys? My name is xFREEEDO, also known as the self-proclaimed motherfucking king of codcasting. Sending a message out, putting a message in a bottle, tossing it into the ocean. To all of the Black Ops 2 haters out there. There's many, surprisingly enough. I'm surprised to see it, but a lot of people are hating on this game. And that's fine with me. You can dislike it. You can dislike it all you want. You can have very valid reasons to dislike it. But overall, most of the reasons start to seem like a lot of commentators are mad that they're finding out they're not as good as they thought they were. Now you're going to, oh, the connections. Here's my reason why I think the connection thing is overblown. I've had bad connections, and I've played personally on bad connections. Like, my connection was bad, my connection's been great. The connection I have now is kind of in the middle. And on Black Ops 2, I've played with Herder of Buffalo on the UK, from a UK host, on a 3-bar, which has to be the worst lag 3-bar you're gonna ever find. And I was still holding my own. You have to know how to play on a bad connection. But that's neither here nor there. Maybe some of these connection things are valid, but what I know for sure is that this community likes crutches a lot. They don't like to take responsibility for their own play. Look here, I'm out of fucking ammo. Gotta use this small. Playing a little crafty there. I don't have anything unlocked here, so don't get pissed at me. I'm using rockets. Anyway, this is a multi-team TDM. If you didn't know what the hell's going on, by the way. Remember lag compensation? Lag compensation did happen a lot for MW3. Well, it's broken. Lag compensation is always in the game, and you want it in the game, because the reason you want it in the game is otherwise, if it wasn't in the game, the hitbox detections would be like 5 feet in front of somebody when he's running, because the response time for your screen to see the player and where he's moving and all that. As far as Call of Duty is concerned, the lag comp works fairly well. Now, Modern Warfare 3, maybe it was broken or something. That's the name they put to it. Whatever, that's fine. Black Ops 2, it's fine, in my opinion. The hit detection is less forgiving, though. What you gotta do, and here I fucking lose to this guy's own gun. LMGs, man, you go prone with those bitches. They are laser beams, and they're even accurate when you're standing up, too. So, LMGs are not bad. I got an awesome LMG gameplay I'm gonna be showing you eventually. You have to be on target. Okay? This is actually a great example. This guy was moving forward. I was off just a little bit. I actually edited this already, so I remember what's going to happen. Watch this in super slow motion. Now, you might think to yourself that was on because it was on his hip. You have to move that aim up to his chest, the forward part of his chest. That's what I mean by the hit detection being less forgiving. That is not lag comp. That is not Black Ops 2 sucking. That's me needing to put better shots on target. So if your shot isn't as good as you think it is, you're going to be in a rude awakening, because all those gunfights like that I lost where I was shooting his leg, where in Modern Warfare 3 I might have got hits, or Modern Warfare 2, whatever. In this game, you have to be more accurate. Oh, by the way, this is the Type 25, the gun that everybody says is the best gun in the game. It's not. Just about every gun in this game is pretty damn good. So you can basically use whatever gun you feel like, to be honest with you. There is better guns than others and better setups, but there's so many different setups that even people who got the game a week early, there's no way they know the best setups for every gun yet. There's so many combinations. Like, for instance, I used the FAL, which I think is the worst gun in the game, but he put auto fire on it, select fire. It's pretty damn good. But anyway, let's bash some of these other things that people are complaining about. So that's the bad hit detection thing. If you suck at bad hit detection with the hit detection, go back and use an ACR. Come on, go put specialist back on and get all your perks, zero recoil, and another thing. You're worried about losing gunfights. Everybody else has no recoil now too. So that means me, a guy who usually uses crappy guns against people using tryhard guns, now I have no recoil. How do you like that, motherfucker? You don't like that very much, do you? When everybody else has no recoil alongside you. A lot of these commentators like to use the best gun all the time, going against guys trying to quick scope and use garbage shotguns or SMGs that can't barely fire straight. And how they're playing against people in a game where everybody's got good guns and they're lost. By the way, all these things I'm talking about, I was raging about on Twitter. So if you want to have some interesting tweets tossed at you, follow me on Twitter. Having a lot of fun on there. Going down the line, the head glitches. Oh my god, everybody's head glitching. No. Two things are happening, and Longball said this very well. I tweeted out his vid as also I liked his vid and some of the things he said. But a lot of people, when they first get the game, they just play slower and grab a head glitch and wait. But you gotta understand, it's your responsibility to learn these spots. So look at this. He's on a head glitch. How do I approach his head glitch? From my own fucking head glitch. All these maps are built great, honestly. These are the best group of maps I've ever seen. I like them all. Even the big-ass ones, the small-ass ones. Some of them have spawn issues in certain game types, but that's to be expected. That happens. You can't... And that guy just got fucking dirty-ass fucking shit on mother... Woo! And then I got flanked. But every spot in this game has a counter spot. So look, we can go up on this ledge. He can go in the building. This is a power position from here. You have to look at it from a competitive angle. Oh, I don't like taking head glitches when they take head glitches. It's a team-orientated game. I'm sorry if all of you commentators... I'm talking about some of my friends now, okay? I'm saying it to you because you know nobody else will. I'm the guy who always says the shit nobody wants to hear. If you're the type of dude who thinks it's cool to just constantly sprint everywhere and run into noobs, that day is over. Especially since it seems like everybody's decent when you're playing. I don't know. By the way, I'm only playing leagues from now on. I went up. I'm almost able to prestige in pubs, but I don't care. I'm only playing leagues. I have a lot of great league gameplay, and if I want to quick and like let me fuck up, get shot in the back, calling in a care pack. If I want to quick plug leagues for a second, that's the best way to play this game. One last thing. UAVs. You don't like UAVs? Did you play COD 4? Because everybody had UAVs in COD 4. If they have UAV, play smarter. And it's not hard to get your own UAV. You can't B flag on domination. It's because you're not playing as a team and taking your own spots. So many people are bad at this game. It's ridiculous. So I hope you enjoyed this little rant. I ran out of time. I probably could go on for like 20 fucking minutes, but whole bunch of awesome gameplay. Honestly, this is my best Call of Duty, and the reason is it's built like a competitive game. And if you're having trouble with it, unless you have a legitimate connection problem, you need to evaluate your own COD skill and maybe learn a few things. I'm opening up a clinic. FreeeDoCoaching.com.org. Like, favorite, subscribe. My name is Freedo. I don't do outros.
Checking in one time. I ain't been in a minute because I told myself I was born to be different.
What's going on, guys? My name is Freedo, also known as the self-proclaimed motherfucking king of codcasting, giving you a hardpoint game, getting 3 orbital Vsats, displaying how I did it in case you're clueless about getting high streaks. When I'm on in this game, I get streaks constantly. When I'm average or I'm getting lag comped like everybody else. Oh my god, lag comp, the connections is screwing me. I go like even and I'm competitive and whatever. Maybe so I guess I'm getting lag comp too, according to everyone else. It's not that I'm not playing perfectly. It's just, the connections, obviously. And when the connections are good, then I do awesome, but whatever. That's everybody else's excuse. Honestly, the thing is, if everybody's lagging, no one has a disadvantage and no one has an advantage. Think about it. It's not that every single room that you go into, you have to be lagging. Especially if you're one of these dudes who's got like terrible connection. You 3-bar on MW3, yet you go into Black Ops 2 and complain that you're not dominant. Yeah, you need a good connection to play this game. If you don't, get off the dial-up. I don't know what's the deal. I'm sorry if you live in, Yugoslavia or whatever and you can't find a good match, but what do you want me to do about it? All right, the game's good. It's not my fault that you can't get a good connection to whatever you're doing. I hope they would fix it, but that's totally separate to the game balance. What the fuck am I talking about? This is a good commentary. It's a happy commentary. It's smiles and giggles as I call in a VSAT here in a minute. This is the War Machine. If you haven't seen this son of a bitch, this thing is awesome. In fact, I think it is cheap for how good it is. It's a 900 point streak. In my opinion, they should bump it up to 1075 and put the Dragonfire down to the War Machine's position down to 900 because the Dragonfire is a piece of shit. It gets shot down immediately, and you have to control it, and you don't get to continuously play. With this War Machine, I can run around, get back on the objectives, and basically not die because I can spam these shots everywhere. When that guy wasn't paying attention, gets dunked in the face. This dude's clueless as well. Gets taken out from the hay barrels, blowing up. But you can just see, like, it's not so much about the War Machine gives you a lot of points. It just keeps you alive because when everything I see is basically going to die except for a knife, because the knife is the greatest thing in Call of Duty history, guys, right? No, that wasn't a panic knife. That was a premeditated knife. He went in there with a pistol. What else was he going to do? That's right, man. Can't complain about every death. Kids die, and every single time it's somebody else's fault other than your own. Oh my god, the connections! Again, let's not talk about connections. But, so basically, the best way to get high streaks is to stay alive near objectives. That's the way to do it. And you want to build your class to get that streak that you want. So if you want the Orbital Vsat like I did, I have the Lightning Strike because it's something that's going to get a few kills and just add a few free points whenever I can call it in. And I think I might want to just change that to a UAV because the Lightning Strike isn't as money as it was on day one. I don't know if anybody else feels that way as well. It's starting to not get as many like quads every single time, and it'll get like 1 to 3 basically is what you can expect from it, and it's not that many points. I think the UAV or the counter would probably be better. Just at that low rank, something to use while you're working your way up. And then something that's more dynamic, something that's going to keep you alive while you're playing the objective is how you're going to get the Vsat, because more importantly than getting the kills with the kill streaks, you want to be able to continuously gain points from the objective, you know, getting your defends, getting your captures, those kinds of things. And that's what I'd use the War Machine for. Now, I would use the Death Machine, but I think the Death Machine is not as good as it was in Black Ops 1. Now, granted, in Black Ops 1, if you died, you lost it, so that was kind of cheesy and nobody liked it. But in this game, the Death Machine's pretty easily countered. Like, it doesn't really outshoot things. It shoots really fast, and right there, I just barely pick up the Orbital Vsat on my way to the grave. The Death Machine is cheaper than the War Machine. I think it's $850 or $800. I don't know. Sometimes they change them. Like they change the costs in hot fixes because that's something they can easily change. But the Death Machine, the spread and the hipfire spread is so big. In Black Ops 1, it was like a laser beam, and you could long range people. If anybody remembers my TSG vid 34-0 team deathmatch with the Death Machine, like, you can see just how much more effective that was in that game. Though I do like using it, I think the War Machine is just so much better. You just need a little bit more points to get it, and it works at any range. That's really the final nail in the coffin. The Death Machine is going to be good if you're in a really tight room or something like that, but if you're trying to kill somebody from medium range, the Death Machine is going to get outshot by most of these accurate assault rifles. And the point of these kill streaks is to not let you die, so you can work your way up to the bigger ones. So yeah, that's my general tips. I mean, overall, I'm really liking this game. Hardpoint was the only game I played when I was playing pubs. I will play pubs here and there when I don't have a team, because now that I'm in Masters League, I don't really want to lose a bunch going solo or just playing with 1 or 2 friends, because it gets really hard now because we get matched up against guys that are at least in platinum and working their way up towards masters. And then we, you know, have like 2 or 3 randoms on our team and they do terrible and we lose. And look at this. Whoop-de-whoop-de-woo! Spray around in a circle. That always works. See, this is how you know I'm playing in a pub game, because these crazy, stupid, like, get out of situations without dying, that only happens in pubs. So I guess my next point of discussion, what I want to talk about, is leagues. Overall, I think a kill streak as high as the Orbital Vsat would be very hard to get in leagues and almost useless. I do have some crazy cockamamie strategies that would involve like a one slayer to try to work towards a high kill streak, but I haven't perfected it yet. I don't think it would work in 4s. If you're playing 4 leagues in the championship division, you definitely want to use low streaks because you're going to be dying. And the reason is that in 4s, each player needs to control more space on the map. You have more map responsibility. But in sixes, you're kind of like on top of each other, so you can hide behind your teammates. But we'll discuss some more strategies for League later on. For now, that's been it. My name is XFREEEDO, and I don't do outros.
Watch it peel back.
What is going on, guys? My name is XFREEEDO, also known as the self-proclaimed motherfucking king of podcasting. It seems like I bring you guys this map a lot. It must be my best damn map, or the only map I play. I'm not sure. But this is a multi-team on hardpoint. This is my favorite damn pub mode, guys. I think this is the only mode I really ever want to play when I have to play pubs, because it's pretty freaking awesome. The nice thing about it is you can go into it with a small team and still feel pretty confident about how your team can do, because if you go into a normal 6v6 game or a ground war game with just one or two guys, sometimes you can really get weighed down from a lot of bad teammates. But in hardpoint, man, in multi-team, it's all about your small little group. And the cool thing about it is there's a lot of interesting spots that you can set up in hardpoint. I keep saying hardpoint. I meant multi-team hardpoint, but either way, it still remains the same. You get into like those slayer positions, like I was sitting there in the middle, and keep picking them off as they run to the hardpoint. Those are the types of things you get to pick up, and is a lot of fun for me. But let's just talk about some general stuff, because this is really kind of a commentary out of my ass. I don't know if I have posted already my gun power ranking video yet. Either I'm going to post that before this one, because I haven't done it yet, or after this one. But either way, I'm going to be talking about my opinions on all of the guns and where they place and how good they are and how you can consider them. Unfortunately, some of them aren't as good as others. There is some patching that needs to be done. Long story short, I think the best automatic is the Type 25, but there is cute little other setups that you can do, like the FAL automatic is ridiculous. It's really good. You can put automatic fire on some of the burst ones, like the SWAT automatic's good. But once again, like if I'm using an automatic, I kind of don't want to have to waste that attachment on select fire when you could put it on something else. The Type 25 is really good. It's the FAMAS of this game, but it's not overpowered by any means. There's so many other things that can counter it. The Scorpion Evo is going to rape it at close range. Other submachine guns are going to fight well against it. All the submachine guns are really good in this game, by the way. And it doesn't fight at long range as easy as other weapons. Now, you can get good aim and spray people down, but the point is the more accurate, like burst fire rifles and long range rifles, are better at long range, medium long range shooting. And that's pretty much what I'll get into tomorrow more specifically. But the Type is my favorite automatic right now. I wouldn't feel bad about using it because it does take skill to use. You have to get your shots on target. This isn't Modern Warfare 3 where, you know, you can shoot a guy in his leg and you'll die. You really have to get in the chest, neck, and head area for your shots to connect consistently. And I don't mind that. I don't mind the less forgiving hit detection. But obviously I understand if you're on a bad connection, the less forgiving hit detection means that you can't even hit a target because, you know, a guy will be lagging on your screen. You won't even have a good target to aim at to begin with, on top of the fact that you need near perfect aim in this game. Yeah, it's tough for you, I'm sorry, but luckily my connection's working just as good in this COD as it has in any other COD, which is mediocre. It's just kind of a decent connection, so that's why I kind of get upset when people complain that it's all connection, things like that. My connection's not that great. I'm living in my apartment. This is the connection that comes with, you know, in the apartment with the apartment package, Time Warner Cable deal throughout the whole building. It's not that great, not that powerful, but, you know, whatever. Anyway, if you haven't noticed already, these Guardians do fucking work in hardpoint. Especially when you consider in multi-team you have 6 people swarming you rather than, and you only have 3 teammates. The Guardian can set up and kind of be like another teammate for you, and it's really good. By the way, it's really easy to counter it. EMP grenades or the Black Hat. EMP grenade's a little more efficient, but the Black Hat can do it at range and also can shoot down air support. Did you know that? The Black Hat, that little thing's a monster. It's like a Stinger missile and an EMP grenade put together. But overall, Multi-Team's the only pub gameplay that I've ever had any fun in, to be honest with you, other than just basic hardpoint, but that's even kind of a clusterfuck. And yes, you do get put in TDM and kill confirmed in Multi-Team. A lot of people don't like that. But what I like to do is just concentrate on setting up as a team. And, you know, you're a third of the map. You have 3 players against 6. It's not so much about rushing around and playing like a chicken with your head cut off. That's not what Call of Duty's about. And I know some people want that supreme move it at 100 type rushing gameplay all the time. And yeah, I can bring you that when I'm playing objective on hardpoint and things like that. But you have to play smart. And, you know, I've played games that are complete rushing all the time, and they're not Call of Duty. They're Quake. They're Unreal Tournament. They're, you know, Half-Life. They're, you know, games like that where there's power weapons and you're consistently moving and you're moving at high speeds and there's a lot of health and all these types of things. Call of Duty's a more tactical game. Yes, it's a little bit faster than some other tactical games, like Rainbow Six is like too slow. Not a lot of people like that game, and other things like that. It's more mass appeal, but you still have to play the game the way it's played best. And the thing I'm going to start saying now from now on, when people complain that there's too many people camping, too many people head glitching, I can't rush, I can't run around the way I want to, just remember, losing isn't a strategy. So if you have a gameplay style that's not working in this game, you need to adapt it. It's not the game's fault that you're getting your ass kicked and you want to run constantly. You know, you have to set up, you have to be smart, you have to play well in this game. And that's why I love it. Love Black Ops 2. Multi-Team is awesome if you haven't played it. I think it's probably the best pub game mode. It's just real simple and it's not too complicated, because some of the other game modes are actually now really hard. And if you play them in a pub setting, it's just way too hard. I'd rather play the regular game modes in leagues where, like, I have my team and we're all trying and the other team's trying. But you go into playing these game modes that are made for competitive play in a public match, I can see why people are getting kind of a stale taste in their mouths. But it's neither here nor there. Play leagues, don't complain. Play well. My name is xFREEEDO. I don't do outros. What's going on, guys? My name is xFREEEDO, also known as the self-proclaimed motherfucking king of codcasting. This is going to be a video breaking down everything in the custom class, all my opinions on the balance and the power rankings and what's best to use and everything else. As you can see here, I am in the Masters League, division blah 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 blah. None of that stuff matters. Now it says I have 17 wins overall, but that's not right. I don't know if that only goes as the wins I have in Masters or whatever, but who cares? Anyway, let's move on. We're going to talk about every primary, everything in this game as fast as humanly possible. I guess first thing we can start off is in Scorestreaks. What is the most effective things to use? What is completely ineffective? And other things like that. I want to sort of give this a league play focus because public matches don't really concern me very much. And with that being said, I don't think any of these top streaks are really in the discussion. All the way up to maybe the Orbital Vsat, that might be something, your highest streak you might want to work towards. But other than that, you pretty much want to stay down here at the bottom. So what are your choices here? I would say never use the RCXD card because you have to utilize it and it takes you out of the gunfight. That's bad. Obviously, UAV is awesome. The Hunter Killer, everyone complains about, but honestly, I'm getting to the point where I can dodge the shit out of these Hunter Killers. You can see them coming on the UAV. I'm sure one of those tips and tricks guys is going to show a super awesome video about it, how to dodge them. You can hear them coming, and if you dodge away from them, get behind cover, things like that, you can dodge them. So take that with a grain of salt. It's an easy thing to use, but it's not overpowered. I'm not really worried about it, and Flak Jacket protects you from it. Care packages are mad overpowered. Luckily, you can't use them in the 4v4 Champion Series, but that is a decent pick always. Counter UAV as well. Guardian is excellent. Counterable, great. Hellstorm Missile, I'm finally getting the hang of. You use the L trigger to boost it down and the right trigger to spread it out. It's better than I thought it was. I forgot you could boost it, and I was being kind of a noob. It's pretty decent for what it costs. 7 kill streak, 700 points. Lightning Strike is clutch as hell. But really, my favorite combination is Sentry Gun Guardian UAV. That is going to do some damage for you. That's what I've been using mostly in league play until people start countering them with black hats and EMP grenades, which is what they're going to have to do. That's the only way you can counter it. The Death Machine is a big disappointment in my opinion because from medium range, it fails in gunfights because the spread is so big. Even when you aim down sights with it, or rather, reduce the reticle when you aim. So I think that it is completely useless considering the War Machine is only 50 points more, and the War Machine does work at all ranges. You can use the Death Machine, I think, effectively in, say, Kill Confirmed or something where you're going to be up close and personal and need to mow people down. But other than that, I think it's bad. The Dragonfire, never select it. Piece of shit, gets shot down easily, doesn't kill fast enough, takes you out of the gunfight. AGR, you can use automatically in the Stealth Chopper as well. Those might be your high-end streaks or the Orbital Vsat. Going into the guns... let's see, where do we want to start? All the lethals actually are, they do what they're supposed to do, pretty self-explanatory. They've been in every single COD game. When we're comparing, let's say, the concussion flash to a shock charge, I'm starting to think there's really no reason to use anything but the shock charge between those three. Because the shock charge does pretty decent damage. Now, one thing that you might want to do if you're looking for like a stun grenade spot, things that you can bounce it off walls, around corners, and it's going to affect automatically. I use it kind of on rushing classes, guns that are setups that are used for close range engagements, playing the objective, things like that. That's pretty good. Tactical insertion, obviously overpowered. I have yet to use it, but I know it's overpowered. In 6v6, as soon as teams start mounting up on tactical insertions, the game's going to start to get pretty ridiculous, and I'm going to be very upset. Hopefully they take that out of league play altogether. It's already out of the Champion Series. The Black Hat, extremely effective. Trophy system does the same thing that it used to do. Good as well, considering you also can toss down 2 of them potentially. Flash. EMP grenades does what I said before. It counters the stuff, the Guardian Sentries, those kind of things. Very good. Sensor grenades I have yet to use, so I can't really comment on those. If you have any opinions, we can talk about that. We already covered that. Perk 3. Dead Silence and Awareness is possible to be used, but I'm going to say only use it in 4v4 because the other game modes, unless you're playing Search and Destroy 6v6, you might want to consider trying these out. I am able to sound whore in this game. It's just hard, and the other noises are very distracting. If I am one-on-one with a guy and he's near me, I can hear him, but that's pretty much the only way. Otherwise, what are things we want to use? I think Extreme Conditioning, other than Capture the Flag, is basically useless. It doesn't give you unlimited sprint, and I think maybe you want to pair it up with a wild card, if anything. Engineer might be a decent idea if you're running care packages or having problems with people using claymores, things like that. Otherwise, that's sort of a backup perk that I don't think you would use very often. Otherwise, the power perks in this tier are going to be Tac Mask and Dexterity. Flashes and stuns last a long time. Tac Mask protects you against that very effectively. And Dexterity is going to be good if you're mounting positions. I like to use this on an SMG class, things that I'm rushing the objective a lot. You can jump up on cover and ladders and pretty much get a shot off pretty quickly after mantling, which is really hard to do and was never in any other Call of Duty game. Now, perk 2 is extremely easy to cover. Toughness, all day, every day. This is all you should ever use on every class, in my opinion. There is powerful perks in this tier, but toughness you should basically almost always use. In close range engagements, when you're in hip fire battles, things like that, it's going to keep you on target, whereas when you normally take damage, it's going to toss you off target when you flinch. Long range engagements, it means a little bit less because the amount of flinch is a little bit negligible, especially if you're in a long range engagement, get shot a little bit, the damage isn't going to be as much, but I still think it's the best perk overall. Cold-blooded is only when you're trying to counter the things that it counters. I never use it. If you get sick of the target finder, things like that, maybe have a class as a backup. Hardwired, never use. Might as well take that out of the game. Counter UAV and EMPs are not that big of a problem. You don't need a perk for it. Fast hands are meh. It can help you throw grenades faster and swap. That's not that big of a deal. If you have a class that if you're using maybe some of the overkill or the wildcards that give you more attacks and grenades, you might want to use it, but never sacrifice toughness for it, in my opinion. Use a wildcard for that. Scavenger is interesting. There's strategies I've thought about that can utilize Scavenger. It does replenish Bouncing Betty's grenades, things like that. If you killed that opponent with a non-explosive weapon, that can be very interesting, especially when we're thinking about things like League TDM, something that's going to play extremely slowly. I can just foresee like a shotgun, because the shotgun's very good in this game, with Scavenger, bouncing Bettys, and you can cover your back, and it could be very effective. From what I've been able to tell, you can use at least 3 bouncing Bettys at once. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. We'll find out together. Perk 1. Ghost, I think, is overrated, because you should be having someone to shoot down the UAV. If you're going to be lazy and not shoot down UAVs, I guess you can use Ghost. Personally, because the UAVs, it's just something I'm used to playing into, I don't use it. I think using Ghost is a bit of a crutch, and you should probably get away from it. Blind Eye, I think, is going overboard. If you're getting you might want to have a backup class for if there's a chopper in there or something like that, but I would never pick that out the gate. So that leaves us with Lightweight, Hardline, and Flak Jacket. It depends on the game mode. Sometimes some objective-based game modes, you're going to have trouble getting to those objectives, and Lightweight can help you with that. Also, like an SMG is even better with Lightweight, obviously, because it gives you more moverability, things like that. Lightweight is very powerful. Do not underestimate it. Hardline is decent as well. I think it's the 3rd best in this tier between Lightweight and Flak Jacket. There's a lot of things that explode and go boom in here. I think Flak Jacket is your number 1, especially if you're sitting on objectives using an AR. Flak Jacket, Tac Mask, something I like to use a lot. It helps you stay mounted in your positions very well. But if you're doing like a longer range AR role where you're not really getting in the engagements but you're picking people off from afar, I say Hardline can help you get to those streaks that you're going to struggle to get because you're not getting the objective points that you normally would, which give you more points in this game, like everybody knows. Now let's go into the guns. Let's start out with some of the easy things to mention. Sniper rifles, I don't care. Whichever one you like, whichever one is a one-shot kill for you, they're all really good in this game. End of story. I don't think quickscoping is a competitive option, though it is easier to do in this game than it has been ever. But the point is, a normal gun still kills very well, very effectively. I only think snipers will be effective in 6v6 League. Maybe if you have like one sniper take that sniper position. There's a lot of maps where there's one dominant sniper position that you're going to need a sniper to hold that down. LMGs. I have an awesome LMG gameplay I'm sending to Thunderstruck Gaming, and it's with the LSAT, because that's the best LMG. The hammer's interesting, and if the fire rate maintained a little bit longer, I think it'd be good. It's kind of weird. Like, it shoots a few rounds fast, and then it slows down and gets more accurate. It just does not shoot fast enough for me to compete with any other guns. The LSW is not the LSW from MW3. It is much weaker, shoots fast, but doesn't kill as quickly as the LSAT, not as effective. The MK apparently is good at range, but with the slow shot time, I can't imagine it being useful, considering the LSAT kind of can still do the job that the MK does. The way you play an LMG is to lay prone or behind cover and just shoot all day. That's what you want to do. It's not a rushing weapon. Shotguns, I can't say I'm familiar with them other than the Remington. I think shotguns have a competitive advantage in this game. They can be used. The nice thing about them, they're only aimed down sight weapons, in my opinion. They're not hip-fire weapons like they were in the past, so I think the best setup for them actually is to use quick draw and try to always ADS, get that tight burst of your shots put together, and that's how you're going to be putting people down very effectively. Like I said, there's like the TDM strategy, camping corners, things like that. It's not a weapon you want to go into objective game modes where you're not going to be able to stay in close quarters. That's going to be hard to do on a lot of these maps. There's a lot of long alleyways and things that you're going to struggle with. The secondaries are good, but they're not going to be able to compete at range like a normal weapon would. I think using overkill with a primary might be an option for this gun, and we'll see how that works out in the future. Let's go on the SMGs, because that's a fairly easy category as well. We'll do ARs last. Everyone was kind of worried that the Scorpion's going to be overpowered. Personally, I don't think it is. It is the best hip fire and close range weapon, that's for sure. It's a competitive gun. It's one of the best. But I don't think it's the end all be all, because it's not going to do medium range as well as some of the others. You're going to struggle in medium range, so that's a decision you're going to have to make for yourself. Most of these SMGs are kind of that way. It's very up to you. The Chi-Com is similar to the Scorpion in my hands. It feels the same. It does the same kind of role, but since it's a 3-round burst, it's going to be a little bit more manageable at medium range. Otherwise, it just rapes face at close range. That's kind of the style it plays. So it's in between these guns. They're kind of the same. I'm not going to give rankings to these guns because I really think they're all really balanced. Personally, my favorites are the MP7 with grip, and then other attachments, perhaps, like, depending on the map. If it's a longer range map, I'd use long barrel. If it's closer range map, maybe fast mags. Other things like that work. Or the MSMC, which plays like the AK-74U or the UMP-45 from other games. It's that longer range, not as good at close range type SMG that feels good in my hands, and that's what I like to use. But keep in mind, when you're using the MSMC, you're going to lose all the time to the Scorpion at close range. So what you want to do is play that support role and sort of try to keep your distance, but you're still rushing the objective. It's good in like capture the flag, because when you start running that flag out in the open or someplace where you're going to get in longer range engagements, the Scorpion's not going to do much work for you at those medium ranges when you need to get a kill at medium range, but the MSMC will. That's my personal opinion. Now, that's why I kind of substitute the MP7, because it has a bit faster fire rate and it's manageable at medium range. That's why I like it. But I will mention these two weapons as well. They're very competitive also. The MSMC has a slow reload time. It takes a while to get that reload, but the PDW has 50 bullets in the mag and a decent reload time. Reload time does matter in this game because there is no sleight of hand. Sleight of hand's been nerfed. Fast mags is good and competitive option, but it is going to waste a slot. I'd rather not waste a slot on fast mags with the MSMC, but I feel like I have to, otherwise the reload takes too long. The Vector's not my cup of tea, but I've seen people do well with it as well. With the right attachments, I'm sure you'll be fine. The PDW with, I'd say, long barrel almost feels exactly like the MSMC normal, with extra bullets. That's the way these guns play out. It's sort of on your personal preference. Now, the ARs. A lot of people were complaining that the ARs were underpowered in this game, and I will say yes. Overall, most of the ARs are not as good as the rest of the weapons in this game in terms of balance. In my opinion, the automatics, namely the non-Type 95 automatics, the AN-94, the Scar H, the M27, and the TAR are almost copycat weapons, kind of like we saw in Black Ops 1. In Black Ops 1, we had AK, Enfield, the Commando, and the Galil, which all were basically the same weapons, had the same stats. That's what these weapons start to feel like to me. There's not a lot of parity between them. The M27 feels like the ACR for Modern Warfare 2, but it takes a long time to kill. You're going to need to be completely utilize that awesome accuracy that it does have, but the time to kill is so long, I'm not feeling it. I don't think it kills fast enough. The Scar is less accurate than the M27, shoots slower, and does a little bit more damage, but I would still say this one's better. So as far as the worst ARs in the game, I think it's the Scar and the TAR, the AN. It's kind of on personal preference, but when you compare them to some of these other guns I'm about to mention, that's the reason why I think they're the worst. They're not terrible weapons. They're just not really competing against the other ARs. I think the fire rate on all of the ones I just mentioned should be increased to about 10% across the board, and then that will help them reach the top echelon. Now, the mid-tier assault rifles, the ones that I think are almost the best, can be utilized fairly well on certain maps, certain occasions, I'm going to say is the SWAT. You definitely want red dot and a grip. Also, by the way, we're going to cover some attachments really quickly. Quick draw is not as good as I thought it was overall. It does an ADS times 2, which was what it was in Black Ops 1. Instead, it's more like 1.5, maybe even 1.25. It doesn't seem to help that much, but grip still does the same job, and putting your bullets in tighter of a burst and in a tighter formation is very good in this game because, like I said before, the hitboxes are very strict, tight, narrow. You got to get your bullets chest, neck, and head. Otherwise, you're not going to get hit detection. So therefore, I think grip is better than quick draw. The SWAT, the FAL, and the DSR are sort of the medium tier assault rifles. The interesting thing with the FAL, if you put fully auto on it and say a grip, you're going to have a good time with this gun. Some of these guns, it feels like you kind of are going to want to use the primary gunfire wildcard, but I'll get to that in a second. I don't think you should use wildcards unless you really feel like you need them because they are a waste of a slot. It's a greed card for a reason. The FAL fully automatic is really good, but single fire, it's useless. You might as well use the normal SWAT from the same ranges as the FAL. It's useless. The SMR, I don't think functions as well fully automatic in my opinion, but I think it functions better than the FAL in single fire mode. But still, at those long ranges, I don't think it competes. I'd say the SMR is in the bottom of the mid tier, and the FAL 40 automatic and SWAT are in the top of the medium tier. Now, for the head honchos, the best ARs in the game, I'm going to say are the M8A1 and the Type 25. I don't think they're extremely overpowered, but they're just a little bit better. The Type 25 is kind of a cross between the FAMAS of Black Ops 1 and the ACR of Modern Warfare 3. Very low recoil, very manageable, but it does not have the range that those two guns had. It's going to get you more hit markers at range, and it's going to force you to stay on target at long range, which is a good thing. It's kind of a balancing point. But I wouldn't go back and use some of the slower fire rate ARs at range because those types of gunfights you can get out of. The long range ones are the ones you can avoid. They're the ones you don't have to worry about, and they're the ones that if someone's using, say, like a SWAT at range, you're going to lose already anyway. It's not something you want to sort of be at the middle of the road at. Instead, the Type 25, I think, dominates the medium tier. Great at hip fire, fast rate of fire, just a great weapon overall. Now, you can use the, what is this called? The select fire on the M8A1. I think that is overkill. I'd rather just use the Type 25, but some people don't like that reload rate. The Type 25 is the slowest reload AR as far as I can tell, and fast mags obviously is kind of a waste of attachment because it doesn't give you a gunfight ability. That's kind of on personal preference. Now for me, this is a 4-round burst, which means it's going to be good at range, manageable, but it feels like it always needs 3 to 4 hits, and sometimes it seems to me it always needs 4. Personally, I prefer the SWAT. It's more of a finesse weapon. It takes a little bit more skill and gun skill, and you're going to have to be really close on target, can't afford to miss. But the M8A1 is a little bit more user-friendly. That's going to be up to you. I think they're more or less balanced, but that remains to be seen. Also, using fully automatic on the SWAT or any of the other guns is pretty good. The last thing we're going to cover, last two things, we're going to cover secondaries and wildcards. The crossbow is actually really accurate and good. I get shit on with it, but I've never tried to use it. I don't know if it has a competitive advantage. RPGs do work in this game. They're annoying. I'm sure people in leagues are going to be using them. That's why you need Flak Jacket. I think with Flak Jacket, it takes 2 to kill you. Very good. That's the anti-air rocket. I would personally just use the small because then you also can shoot down air support as well. Yeah, that does more damage than that. Now, these single-shot semi-automatic pistols in this game, the 5.7 TAC-45 Executioner, useless. Don't use them. There's no point to it. They don't swap. They don't swap fast enough. The Executioner should never be used because it doesn't do enough damage. If you want more of a Magnum-style pistol, the TAC-45 feels like that. It's got 7 bullets in the mag, high recoil, high damage. But overall, I would just use the 5.7 until you unlock the B23R or the Cap 40. If you're playing leagues, you already have this unlocked. Good for you. I personally like the Cap 40. Some people like the B23R. It basically does the same damage. One's a burst, one's fully auto. I don't see much of a difference there. Now, the wild cards. There's going to be interesting strategies with these wild cards because it's going to get down into what can you afford to lose, because in a normal custom class everything gets taken up. So when you start to use these wild cards, you have to think about what don't I use and what isn't important. Personally, I think some of these perks can get taken away. I would never take away toughness. You could possibly get away without using perk 3 and maybe even perk 1. As far as your grenades and stuns go, in a competitive game, I think you need them. I think you should at least have 1 stun and 1 grenade, because otherwise it's going to be really hard to get people out of entrenched positions. If you're playing TDM, it might not be that important. It's up to you. You might want to take this away and maybe just use a Bouncing Betty or a Scavenger or something like that. That's up to you. We're going to have to work out these specific strategies. This is just an overall review of all these things. Primary Gunfighter is the best in the wild cards just because it's going to buff up your gun most. But otherwise, whichever perk you want, that's self-explanatory. Overkill, I think, might get some use in this game. Keep in mind, the run speed is always kind of interesting with Overkill. In some games, you run as fast as the weapon you have out. In Black Ops 1, it was that way. If you switched to your pistol, you'd run faster than you did with an M60 or a light machine gun. In this game, I'm 95% sure it goes based on the Modern Warfare version, which is you run as fast as your slowest weapon. What does that mean? If you have a shotgun and a light machine gun in your class, you're going to run as fast as your slowest weapon, which means you'll run as fast as a light machine gun. Now, if you have a shotgun and a submachine gun, you'll always run fast. That is something you might use. I'm thinking about using a shotgun and a SMG class for some situations. Otherwise, I think Tactician is probably the worst one. I can't really see a reason why you would use 3 tacticals. If someone can come up with a strategy where that's the best thing to do, I don't know why. Maybe 3 grenades would probably be a better option for that. Secondary Gunfighter is probably worthless as well. So that's my review of everything, of what needs to get, how things are ranking, what needs to get patched. Everything here is fine. I'd like to see this get removed, tactical insertion from League play. Otherwise, yeah, it's been a long video, a lot of talking going on. I wanted to cover everything in one take and just get it out there. Probably do another update to this when changes are made to the game. We'll see if these fully auto ARs start to get a little bit of a buff. If you personally think that they're competitive against the Type 25, please let me know, because I don't think they are. I think the Type 25 reigns supreme in the automatic AR category. The TAR, the M27, all these, they don't really fuss up to it. The M27 might be the best non-Type 25 automatic AR, but still, I don't think it kills fast enough at those close mid-close range. It's good at medium and potentially at long, but it's just not cutting the cheese. Other than that, that's been everything. Let me know any comments about what you specifically have questions about, things that you might think are underpowered, things you disagree with. Please go ahead and let me know. I might add an annotation on this if I misspoke or something, but otherwise I'm content with how the game's playing. I like the game overall. I do think the ARs are a little bit underpowered, and obviously the LMGs are still underpowered other than the LSAT. I wish they would just put the mobility up. I think that would change a lot. I think the slower ADS time is nerf enough. The mobility would change things a lot. If they really want to make them competitive, you change the ADS time, because that's the biggest problem. Because when you're trying to get in a gunfight and stuff, you pull up slower, you're losing the gunfight. That's the way it goes. We could probably deal with a slower run time and movement speed, but ADS buff would definitely help. Or at least another idea I had, if Quick Draw did more effect on the LMGs, that would be interesting. That would make the LMGs a little bit more usable, because on other guns like an AR and SMG, you don't necessarily need Quick Draw. You can get away with it, but a light machine gun, it's really difficult to use, and even with Quick Draw, it's still ADS is slow because Quick Draw is nerfed itself. But we'll see. I'll try to send that up to David Vonderhaar as an idea for a buff. My longest Black Ops 2 video ever, breaking down fucking everything. If you watched it this far, please say something special in the comments for me. Say I want to say something dirty, but say I don't do outro.
Alright guys, gonna start it off today with XFREEEDO. Playing some Black Ops 2 League play, 45 kills, 22 defends, and 6,000 score play in League play on Black Ops 2. As you know, this channel is going to be made for you guys to help get all you smaller guys some recognition, some views, maybe get noticed by somebody big, and help further your YouTube channels and just try to grow you as an individual. That's my goal. I need some guys with some graphics, some intros and stuff to hit me up if you want to participate. Need some help on this Redneck Gaming channel. Sit back and enjoy the show from your boy XFREEEDO. His links will be in the description below. Peace.
What's going on, guys? My name is XFREEEDO, also known as the self-proclaimed motherfucking king of codcasting, bringing you a hard point gameplay on drone using the MSMC. This is in leagues, the 6v6 leagues. By the way, if you don't know how to tell that, when you pull up the scoreboard here, it doesn't show the prestige icons because you don't have prestige icons in leagues. You have medals for your rank. Actually, I kind of wish they showed the medals for your rank. I think that'd be kind of cool. But what I'm doing here on Redneck's second channel, by the way, thank you for uploading this, sir. Very nice of you to turn this second channel into a community channel. Always helps us unknown people approach the ability of getting known, the long winding road that is. But what I want to show you in this gameplay, first of all, is some awesome league bashing. A few of my friends, well actually me and a friend are in Masters League, and a few of these other guys on our team were unranked, never played leagues before, but the other team we're playing is all platinum. So the funny thing with the league rankings is, just like in StarCraft, which is where they basically took the system from verbatim, when you can assign your league ranking to yourself, you kind of get the feel of how good you actually are. It's a better explanation of your skill. You know, KD can be boosted and manipulated in ways, but playing and getting wins is really where the real skill is at. Now, I will be cutting this gameplay down because it was a lot longer than it needs to be. This video is just kind of introductory commentary. Normally on my channel, if I would do something like a stream or a full podcast or something, I probably wouldn't cut as much out, but just want to give you a taste of how I play and how we approach the game. Now, the great thing about Black Ops 2 is it's a very dynamic and skill-based game. There's a lot of complaints out of the old school competitive scene that really hates all the new stuff that's now implemented into competitive play. I actually am very for it. I believe it adds another dimension, especially as I set down these what are right now overpowered Sentry Gun and Guardian. And what I mean by right now is people really haven't figured out how to effectively counter them. If you look at my class, actually, I'm running with an EMP grenade. You throw one of those bad boys on there, it gets destroyed right away. But if you try to just shoot it, it's going to take you forever. That guy's bouncing Betty definitely just destroyed us right there. Double kill. But that's kind of an example of something that you have to start to consider when you're playing in a competitive environment. And that's what multiplayer used to be. It used to be all about competitive environment. Somewhere down the line, Call of Duty kind of screwed everything up and made it into a solo, lone wolf, KD's all that matters type game. Now in Black Ops 2 leagues, you're going to have to start to think about the roles on the team you have to play and the type of things you have to prepare for. For instance, if a team is using Guardian and Sentry Gun on you in Hardpoint, locking down the positions like I am, which is my favorite strategy right now, you're going to have to put on black hats or EMP grenades on one of your classes. By the way, in leagues, they only give you 5 classes. I think that's bull. They probably should up that to 10, especially since there's so many different things you have to prepare for. But we'll see. Hopefully we just keep tweeting that at Vaughn. He should be able to make that happen. It shouldn't be that hard. I actually do get to put my emblem on my gun, which you normally have to prestige your gun to get that, and that's my cute little subscribe to Freedo emblem there. That's pretty good. There's a lot of awesome parts about League. Really the biggest downside is you're not going to level up in pubs, but that gets totally overshadowed about how much better the gameplay is, how much more tested your skill is. And like everything's unlocked. You don't have to do the stupid grind anymore to unlock everything. And for a guy who's played Call of Duty since COD 2 on PC, COD 4 on every single Call of Duty, like the grind and unlocking stuff is old news. New age now is getting into the competitive scene, and that's what I am very excited about. I've always been a fan of esports, but now I'm trying to get a more active role in them. And that's what I want to do with codcasting. I've been doing a lot of practice codcasts on my channel from MW3, and I'll be moving into doing them for Black Ops 2. And what I think I can sort of bring to the codcast field is more of an analytic approach that I don't really see very often. There's a lot of great codcasters out there. They're now called codcasters. Before they were just shoutcasters, but I can be more of the sort of the coach that analyzes the game, because I feel I can really break it down and sort of get into the fundamentals and the strategy and things like that. And that's sometimes something that doesn't get explained to the audience very well. And that's what I'm trying to base my channel on. And, you know, bridging the gap, trying to get people who have never really tried competitive Call of Duty, who think it's all about try-harding with overpowered weapons and a very boring way of the game into explaining all of the aspects of what you should be doing at all times, because there's a difference between camping and playing the objective and a smart move and a risky move, and really when you just watch Moabs all day, you don't get that same feel. And obviously Moab's dead, thank God, except for those who go back to play easy Warfare 3 who can't play Black Ops 2. By the way, I invented the term Mob-mentator, just putting it out there in case anybody didn't know. I originally started my channel because I hated the Moab scene and the entire like gameplay boosting stuff. Not that I disliked the gameplay, just the whole idea that that was what skill was in our community. That's how we respected skill. I aim to change that with this emphasis on leagues. I don't know if I said before, but I'm in the Masters League right now, working my way up in the solo rank, and having a lot of fun with it. I'm going to be doing a lot of streaming and through the Codcast feature, however that works. I haven't figured it out yet, but my internet should be good enough to do that, as well as Codcasts and just competitive league gameplay, regular commentaries, kind of like this one, going over strategies and whatever the hell else I want to talk about. But I really believe that Black Ops 2 is the best Call of Duty ever. Now, I mean, you can pit it up against COD 4, but COD 4 is so old now, and the amount of things that weren't considered in that game that are now considered and like countered and working themselves out, it's all working out. And I'm happy where this game is going, and I hope you come over to my channel and check out what I'll be doing. 22 defends. That's how I roll. My name is xFREEEDO. I don't do outros. What's going on, guys? My name is xFREEEDO. Also known as like this is gonna be a video. I did not intentionally do that, but I'm keeping it in. Fuck it. This is gonna be how I got into the Masters League. This game right here was a very high-scoring domination game. Playing with that guy on my right, Undercover Hippo. Followed me on Twitter. I tweeted it out that I was looking for some teammates, at least like one guy. This guy, I think it was like late at night or something. There was not many people on. I felt like playing League, and I hopped up into my camping spot in this building, also known as the competitive power position from this side of the map. Both sides have it, ladies and gentlemen. Complain about head glitches, but you gotta realize every side's got one, you know? Complaints are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Ooh, I'm hilarious. But I'm showcasing here the first time I tried to use the FAL with the full auto. And it is ridiculous. It is really good. It's probably the best AR. I'm finding I don't prefer it at these really long ranges as I get sniped there. Like I said, snipers are going to have a competitive role in 6v6 leagues. That reason alone. Because you can hide way in the back and snipe people out of the power positions. You can't do that with an AR, especially if you're a really good sniper. But from these medium ranges, look how this FAL just tears people apart. Now, I'd love to use the SWAT, but the SWAT's got too much of a delay in between shots. I think if they increase that shot delay in between, get drop shot, bitch, the SWAT would be pretty damn good. It'd be almost as good as this. But you put the full auto switch, and by the way, I am using wildcard to get grip and red dot, as well as select fire, and I think that is the greatest FAL setup. If you're on a medium range, you can take away one of the either the red dot or the grip, whatever you like. Personally, I like to use this gun on domination. It's good for head glitching and playing slow and getting those long lines of sight, but it also can handle medium range pretty well. Whereas my favorite gun, the SWAT, is really only good at medium long to long range because it doesn't shoot fast enough. You're going to lose a lot of medium range gunfights to basically everything, to automatic ARs to submachine guns, you know, from medium long to, or from medium to medium close to close. By the way, if you don't understand what the hell I'm saying right now, the different ranges of how I explain them, there's close, which is like knife distance, shotgun distance. Close medium or medium close, that's like hyphenated, whatever you want to say. That's a little bit outside of shotgun range, but not exactly medium yet. So like, and then, you know, the medium's just regular medium. Medium long is almost long. Okay, you see where I'm going with this? So you don't get confused. Some guns are good in those different little subcategories. And I would say the FAL automatic shines at medium long. Not long, but medium long. But just look at how fast it shoots. I think that's going to have to change. That fire rate is too high. I mean, this is one of the examples of the fire rate changer that I don't like. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I don't like the idea of the fire rate changer at all. I really don't. Because on some guns, it's irrelevant. And other guns, like this one, it might be overpowered. If you're using the fire rate changer on an automatic weapon, I want to laugh at you. Seriously, I think that's like the dumbest idea ever. The only reason you'd ever want to use the fire rate changer is to change a non-automatic weapon to have the option of automatic. Because think of it this way. If you're using a fire rate changer on an automatic gun, you're hindering yourself when you put it in burst. Because you can shoot a burst by yourself. You have an automatic gun, just fret the trigger like da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. You see what I'm saying? Let the gun recenter. It's going to function the same exact way. But you won't be hindered, and you'll get a custom class, slot, token, point, whatever it's called, for a different attachment. That's how I figure with that. And, yeah, so that's what I'm talking about, guns. The FAL is probably one of my best ARs right now. I'm starting to like it even more than the Type 25, to be honest with you, because it's so much more accurate, and it shoots pretty fast, so like the damage per second overall is pretty good. And the Type 25 I thought was a good damage per second gun. Here we're switching to the second round real quick. We went in with the lead. Those sentry guns were raping face. But the Type 25 is just not really accurate enough, and it doesn't seem to do enough damage per second, whereas like the FAL fully auto is dominant and ridiculous. I kind of hate how good it is, to be honest with you. But I also don't really like the M8. I think that's a little too easy to use as well. But because really at the end of the day, the more skill of it is how bad the guns are. The guns should be all toned down, and if something's too good, it should be toned down and make everything more or less taking a little bit of gun skill to use. Because if we just start buffing the shit out of everything, we're gonna be back to a Modern Warfare title, and it'll be way too easy. And that just takes away all the competitive gun skill of it. There's already enough things distracting from the gun skill in league play and competitively in Black Ops 2. We don't need the guns to be easy as well. So, we've got a little bit of time left. I want to explain domination, especially in league play, because I know a lot of people complain about the maps, a lot of people complain about how slow the game plays, all the head glitches, things like that, especially this map, man. There's head glitch here, there, everywhere. Little undercover route. There's a building behind me, in front of me. It's like there's so many spots to control, and really it's for you to utilize. Okay, stop complaining that you can't run out in the middle of the map without getting shit on, and actually control your spots. Actually, right here is a really good point to point out. There's a triple nade right there. My team got decimated. So what I did, instead of running up and taking the flag, this is more of an MLG Pro type move. You fall back and let your respawning teammates flood in. Now, luckily in domination in leagues, there's no respawn delay. Otherwise, that would be a little bit harder of a job. But when your teammates die, especially multiple of them, and you're the last one up holding a position, a forward position, don't just play recklessly and like jump on that flag. You're not going to get it. Whether I was defending that flag, capping, it doesn't matter. Just wait for your teammates to flood up and hold your position so they can more easily move up. That's your job at that point when other teammates go down. Hold your spot. Don't lose that life and get sent back with your teammates, because then you're all spawn trapped and you're fucked. Yeah, that's not fun at all. The worst thing you can ever do is have your whole team die and get spawn trapped, because it'll take you a bit of work to get out of that. But anyway, in domination, you want to play slow. It's a slaying game mode, because once you get 2 flags, that's it. Sit, wait, TDM, funnel and fire. That's a pretty good catchphrase, actually. Funnel and fire. Funnel them through the lanes and just shoot them as they come out. You don't need to be worrying about running across the map. Oh, I can't run and gun in this Call of Duty. It's too hard. No, you're not supposed to run and gun in every game mode. You're not supposed to run and gun in TDM, domination, basically anything. You're supposed to play smart and actually know how to utilize the maps and stop worrying about their head glitches, especially when it's fair glitches. Fair head glitches. Head glitches on both sides. There's that building on that side, building on the other side. It's fair. If you're going to get sniped, you get sniped. If you're going to shoot them, you shoot them. I don't know what I'm saying. My name is XFREEEDO. I don't do outros.